Hey y'all, it's Kim. So this is the Robert Hur Classified Documents report against Joe Biden. This is chapter 11. I'm gonna have to split this one up in about two videos, maybe. Could be three, but it's got about 22 pages in this section. But let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 11, Analysis of the Evidence, Classified Afghanistan Documents, Introduction. There is evidence that after his vice presidency, Mr. Biden willfully retained marked classified documents about Afghanistan and unmarked classified handwritten notes in his notebooks, both of which he stored in an unsecure place in his home. He had no legal authority to do so, and his retention of these materials and disclosure of classified information from his notebooks to his ghostwriter risked serious damage to America's national security. I'm going to open this up a little more. Okay, even with my glasses, it still seems small. But the evidence falls short of proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Biden retained and disclosed these classified materials willfully. The department's prior treatment of former presidents and vice presidents who kept national security materials also counsels against prosecution of Mr. Biden, as do the most relevant aggravating and mitigating facts presented here. Therefore, under established department principles, we decline criminal charges against Mr. Biden relating to the classified Afghanistan documents and his classified notebooks. We would do so even if we were not bound by the Office of Legal Counsel's legal conclusion that a sitting president may not be charged with federal crimes. In reaching these conclusions, we consider two questions. First, whether the evidence proves beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime occurred, and then, if so, whether criminal charges are warranted. Thus, the department's justice manual requires federal prosecutors to determine whether the person under investigation committed a federal offense and whether the admissible evidence will probably be sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction. Next, the manual directs prosecutors to evaluate relevant aggravating and mitigating facts and determine whether criminal charges are supported by a substantial federal interest. A prosecutor should seek criminal charges only after considering each of these questions and making a policy judgment that the fundamental interests of society require the application of federal criminal law to a particular set of circumstances. We address the first question, the sufficiency of the evidence for the classified Afghanistan documents immediately below. Then for the classified notebooks in chapter 12, we discuss the second question, whether criminal charges are otherwise warranted for both sets of classified material in chapter 13. There's evidence that Mr. Biden willfully retained the classified Afghanistan documents. In a recorded conversation on February 16, 2017, at Mr. Biden's rental home in Virginia, Mr. Biden told Mark Schwanitzer that Mr. Biden had just found all the classified stuff downstairs. According to what Mr. Biden told Schwanitzer, all the classified stuff related to President Obama's 2009 decision to surge American troops to Afghanistan and to a pivotal moment when Mr. Biden sent President Obama his handwritten Thanksgiving memo opposing the troop surge. Photos of the Virginia home show that the lowest level downstairs, where Mr. Biden told his monitor he had just found all the classified stuff, included rooms that Mr. Biden used as work and storage spaces. 6 years later, during this criminal investigation, the FBI recovered marked classified documents relating to the debate over the 2009 Afghanistan troop surge in a box in Mr. Biden's Delaware garage. The classified documents were in folders that also contained drafts of Mr. Biden's Thanksgiving memo, other source documents for that memo, and other memos establishing Mr. Biden's strong contemporaneous opposition to the surge. The folders of classified Afghanistan documents appeared to be files of Mr. Biden's creation, labeled in his handwriting and containing memos and intelligence products he removed from the ordinary flow of paperwork he received as vice president. Inside Mr. Biden's home office, agents found his AFPAC 1 notebook with the classified Thanksgiving memo tucked inside. In the same box in the garage where FBI agents found the classified Afghanistan documents, agents also found other documents of great personal importance to Mr. Biden, including photos of his son Beau and documents Mr. Biden filed, accessed, and used in early 2017. During the same time, he told his monitor he found the classified documents about Afghanistan in his Virginia home. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden maintained these files himself. Mr. Biden had a strong motive to keep the classified Afghanistan documents. He believes President Obama's 2009 troop surge was a mistake on par with Vietnam. He wanted to record the show that he was he wanted the record to show, that he was right about Afghanistan, that his critics were wrong, and that he had opposed President Obama's mistaken decision forcefully when it was made, that his judgment was sound when it mattered most. The evidence provides grounds to believe that Mr. Biden willfully retained the marked classified documents about Afghanistan if he was not referring to those documents later found in the garage when he told his monitor he had just found all the classified stuff downstairs. It is not clear what else Mr. Biden could have been referring to. Nevertheless, the reasons below, we believe this evidence is not strong enough to establish Mr. Biden's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence falls short of establishing Mr. Biden's willful retention of the classified Afghanistan documents beyond a reasonable doubt. In February 2017, when Mr. Biden told his monitor he just found all the classified stuff downstairs, Mr. Biden was at his home in Virginia. In December 2022, the FBI recovered the marked classified documents about Afghanistan in the garage of Mr. Biden's home in Delaware. Nearly 6 years later, and over 100 miles away, when the FBI recovered the documents in 2022, Mr. Biden was a sitting president, and he was authorized to have classified documents in his private home. Thus, any criminal charges would most plausibly depend on Mr. Biden's possession of the Afghanistan documents in the Virginia home in 2017 when he was not in office. There are at least 3 defenses likely to create reasonable doubt as to such charges. First, Mr. Biden could have found the classified Afghanistan documents at the Virginia home in 2017 and then forgotten about them soon after. This could convince some reasonable jurors that he did not willfully retain them. Second, Mr. Biden might not have retained the classified Afghanistan documents in the Virginia home at all. They could have been stored without his knowledge at his Delaware home since the time he was vice president. This would rebut charges that he willfully retained the documents in Virginia. Finally, Mr. Biden could have found only some of the classified Afghanistan documents in the Virginia home in 2017. The ones in the Manila, Afghanistan, misspelled, a folder found in the garage box, and it is unclear whether this folder contained national defense information. This too would rebut charges that he willfully retained national defense information as required by the criminal statute. We discuss each potential defense in turn. A, Mr. Biden may have found the classified documents in Virginia in February 2017 and then forgotten about them. It is possible that Mr. Biden encountered the classified Afghanistan documents at the Virginia home in February 2017, told his monitor about them, and then soon after forgot about them and did not willfully retain them. While such a shift or swift and permanent bout of forgetfulness may seem plausible or implausible, several pieces of evidence provide some support for this possibility. If Mr. Biden discovered classified documents at the Virginia home on February 16, 2017, when he told his monitor he just found all the classified stuff downstairs, it may not have been something he found memorable. Mr. Biden, after all, had seen classified documents nearly every day for the previous 8 years. As vice president, he regularly and permissibly kept classified documents in his home. When he spoke to his monitor in February 2017, Mr. Biden had left the White House less than a month earlier. After more than 40 years in the highest ranks of government, he was accustomed to having staff members attend to the details of handling, storage, storing, and retrieving classified documents. For a person of this position, the presence of classified documents might not have been noteworthy, and it may have seemed natural that someone else would inevitably take care of it because for Mr. Biden, that is how it nearly always worked. In response to this defense, the government could note that several weeks before the February 2017 conversation with Wanitzer, just after leaving the vice presidency, Mr. Biden returned different classified material he found in the Virginia home, giving a slim binder of material possibly relating to foreign leader calls to his personal aide to return to the White House. One explanation is that Mr. Biden returned the binder of foreign leader calls because he did not care about it, whereas he intentionally kept the classified Afghanistan documents because he cared about them a great deal. But another inference the evidence permits is that Mr. Biden returned the binder of classified material to the personal aide because after leaving office, Mr. Biden did not intend to retain any marked classified documents. As Mr. Biden said in his interview with our office, if he had found marked classified documents after the vice presidency, I would have gotten rid of them. I would have gotten them back to their source. I had no purpose for them, and I think it would be inappropriate for me to keep clearly classified documents. Some reasonable jurors may credit this statement and conclude that if Mr. Biden found the classified Afghanistan documents in the Virginia home, he forgot about them rather than willfully retaining them. Mr. Biden's own words to his Wanitzer provide some support for the conclusion. In the recorded conversation, when Mr. Biden told Wanitzer he had just found all the classified stuff downstairs, Mr. Biden's tone was remarkably casual. His sole reference to the discovery of classified documents was the brief aside. Mr. Biden did not sound surprised or concerned by the documents he referenced. While reasonable jurors could draw different conclusions from Mr. Biden's seeming nonchalance, one conclusion is that if Mr. Biden discovered classified documents, it simply was not significant to him and was something he could have quickly forgotten. After all, the Afghanistan documents and the 2009 troop surge played no role in Promise Me Dad, the book Mr. Biden wrote with Wanitzer in early 2017. There is no reason to believe Mr. Biden intended to discuss the 2009 Afghanistan troop debate in his book, which is explained in Chapter 5, covered his experiences in 2014 and 15. In dozens of hours of recorded conversations with Wanitzer in 2016 and 2017, when Mr. Biden talked about a vast array of topics, the Afghanistan documents never came up again. This may suggest that after February 16, 2017, the documents were simply not on Mr. Biden's mind. Mr. Biden's memory also appeared to have significant limitations, both at the time he spoke to Wanitzer in 2017, as evidenced by their recorded conversations, and today, as evidenced by his recorded interview with our office. Mr. Biden's recorded conversations with Wanitzer for 2017 are often painfully slow, with Mr. Biden struggling to remember events and straining at times to read and relay his own notebook entries. In his interview with our office, Mr. Biden's memory was worse. He did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended, if it was 2013, when did I stop being vice president, and forgetting on the second day of the interview when his term began in 2009 and I'm still president. He did not remember even within several years when his son Bo died, and his memory appeared hazy when describing the Afghanistan debate that was so important to him. Among other things, he mistakenly said he had a real difference of opinion with General Carl Eikenberry, when in fact Eikenberry was an ally whom Biden cited approvingly in his Thanksgiving memo to President Obama. In a case where the government must prove that Mr. Biden knew he had possession of the classified Afghanistan documents after the vice presidency and chose to keep those documents, knowing he was violating the law, we expect that at trial his attorneys would emphasize these limitations in his recall. We also expect many jurors to be struck by the place where the Afghanistan documents were ultimately found in Mr. Biden's Delaware home, in a badly damaged box in the garage, near a collapsed dog crate, a dog bed, a Zappos box, an empty bucket, a broken lamp wrapped with duct tape, potting soil, and synthetic firewood. And this is pictures from the garage. The garage box is right there in red, with classified Afghanistan documents is encountered by FBI December 21st, 2022. A reasonable juror could conclude that this is not where a person intentionally stores what he supposedly considers to be important, classified documents critical to his legacy. Rather, it looks more like a place a person stores classified documents he has forgotten about or is unaware of. We have considered and investigated the possibility that the box was intentionally placed in the garage to make it appear to be there by mistake, but the evidence does not support that conclusion. Finally, Mr. Biden's cooperation with our investigation will likely cause some jurors to conclude that the Afghanistan documents were in his Delaware home by mistake, which is consistent with him forgetting about the documents soon after he discovered them in the Virginia home. Most significantly, Mr. Biden self-reported to the government that the Afghanistan documents were in his Delaware garage and consented to searches of his house to retrieve them and other classified materials. He also consented to searches of other locations, and later in the investigation, he participated in an interview with our office that lasted more than 5 hours and provided written answers to most of our additional written questions. Many will conclude that a president who knew he was illegally storing classified documents in his home would not have allowed a search of his home to discover those documents and then answer the government's questions afterwards. While various parts of this argument are debatable, we expect the argument will carry real force for many reasonable jurors. These jurors will conclude that Mr. Biden, a powerful, sophisticated person with access to the best advice in the world, would not have handed the government classified documents from his own home on a silver platter if he had willfully retained those documents for years. Just as a person who destroys evidence and lies often proves his guilt, a person who produces evidence and cooperates will be seen by many to be innocent. To prove that Mr. Biden willfully retained the Afghanistan documents, the government must establish that he acted with the bad purpose either to disobey or disregard the law. Reasonable jurors could conclude that Mr. Biden discovered the Afghanistan documents in his Virginia home and then forgot about them almost immediately. Such jurors would likely acquit him. Let me stop here and then we'll do the second half just because this is a good place to stop. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.